Hello everybody. In the last video we saw that if we viewed reality as a duality between mathematics and physics, we could put together all the different parts of physics in one simple, single chart. Consistent information where the force of gravity sits together with the atomic forces in the same pattern. Pattern based upon first two prime numbers. Everything comes in pairs, and there are three different generations of pairs. You can also put all the other base parts of physics and mathematics in here, but it becomes a very big table. The supersymmetric table, where whatever happens in one is reflected completely in the other. Now, we don't need to go through that again, but we saw that then we put that unified theory together with another duality, with the unpredictable parts of reality, chaos and complexity. We got an overall picture of reality that was consistent. So what I'm going to do today is to give you a proof that you must use a combination of mathematics and physics. Now, we verified physics by prediction, experiment, the use of agreement in the mathematics, but we verified mathematics by logic. And that was first laid down in Euclid's book, The Elements, where he used axioms, statements that we can all hold to be true, to base his logic on and build proofs and theorems. But there was a problem in the 1920s and 30s. A brilliant mathematician called Godel showed that there are some sentences that you can say, you can't decide if it's true or false. Some parts of mathematics which are undecidable. Some parts of mathematics which show it's incomplete. Now, that's not seen as a big problem, but it is. Stephen Hawking saw it as so much of a problem, he wrote a paper called Godel and the End of Physics, that this might somehow one day collapse the whole of physics. But what I'm going to show you today and prove to you is that it puts everything back together. So let's look at the incompleteness of physics being resolved by mathematics and the incompleteness of mathematics being resolved by physics. If I take energy, the physics of the proton and electron, I get the same electrical charge on both. Now, I can't decide which is which unless I use the mathematical aspects of positive and negative. Now, we've been using this for so long, we've forgotten to look at what we're actually doing. So that's physics. I can't decide here what to do unless I use the mathematics. Let's have a look at the same thing in mathematics. If I go back to the beginning of the universe, I can say there's nothing. Maybe just some energy and mathematics, but a tiny bit of mathematics. So I've got 0. I change energy into more and more mathematics structure. So the second law of thermodynamics doesn't include this structure. It says, just keeps saying that the energy keeps depleting or running down or running to disorder. But the structure it's creating runs to ever greater order. So if I use energy, break it into mathematical aspects, positive and negative, space and elements, just hydrogen, I then get force in between. The force of gravity is just caused by a relationship between two different things. And that goes on to ever greater complexity. So here I just get my dualities, very simple, stars and atomic nuclei. That goes on, so I get planets, solar systems, very complex molecules, and life, and another duality, mathematical information, being built by the energy from the cell, the complexity in the cell, being conserved in the information of the mathematics. So I get another 0 here, which is the sum of all the positive and negative parts of the universe. There's a finite number of particles, but an infinite number of relationships. And I add them all back together, all the atoms which are positive and negative in the whole universe, I I get a 0. And then once again, just like this, I can't distinguish between them unless I use the physics. Unless I actually stop and look and say, well, that one is minus, that one is plus. If I look at the physical parts of the universe here, I can decide which 0 it is, whether it's this one or this one. So I've got +1, -1, -0, +0 over here. Now some of you will recognize that as one of the solutions to the Dirac equation. But here I've now got an answer. I need physical parts to decide what I've got. And you can see from that I need an external observer to this. I haven't got enough information with just 2 parts. Now, if you look here, we looked at this little relationship here, which comes out of being able to unify the unpredictable parts of chemistry and biology with the predictable parts of physics. I get the 2 parts of time. Evolution, which is composite, building things based upon e to the x. If you look at the evolutionary studies that say a population of foxes and rabbits, it's all built on e to the x. And then decomposite, a coal that's cooling in the air, or radioactive material decaying, all built on e to the x. So I've got 2 symmetrical parts of time, and this, the zeta function, the relationship between prime numbers and the composites they build, but also the relationship between what is uncountable space and what is countable. And I must have here, I've got here the relationship between the first 2 primes and one of something, a new one of something, a new star or a new element that I can count with. I've got new components, so I've got a relationship between 2 and 3 and 1, 1, 2 and 3, all the different ways I can add those together, either multiplying them or adding them, give me 6. So I've got a relationship between symmetry and asymmetry, so force is when something is different. So I've got just the difference between things is the force. So I've got this relationship between force making time and time making force. Time is just change. Force causes things to change. From what I've got here, spacing element number 1, hydrogen, into stars and more elements. So you can see there's a little battle between them. So that's it. A proof, something that you can all go and test. And I need the third party all the time to verify what I've got. So we are a very important feedback loop into the universe. We can bring all the mathematics into reality. It's called a hidden reality now, but we see the same physical parts change into their behavior when they get complex mathematics. So this is the relationship between Newton and Poincaré, who shows that anything more than 2 bodies in space is complex. The relationship between Einstein and Godel. It's the same problem again, simple to complex. So that's it. Something you can all go and test, going right back to Euclid, just using logic. At the end of the day, there's nothing else. Bye-bye now.